What's going on out there, everybody? This is your boy, comedian Marlon Ballard with the Love to Laugh podcast. I am joined by a group of lovely ladies, the lovely ladies of Mokenstef. Give it up for them. Yeah, let's go, let's go.
What's
I am
up?
joined. I am joined by Monifa, Candy, Kendall, and Stephanie. Nice to meet y'all. Nice to meet
Kenya.
y'all.
Oh, we got to help. We got Marlon. He's a comedian too, so maybe he was trying to be funny. But
Like you
Kenya,
I said Candy,
Kenya.
but
he
you know,
said,
hey, I'm nervous. Y'all making me nervous. This is
You
like a
said
speed date.
Kendall Candy. It's Kenya.
We speed dating right now. We good. I'm
That's gonna
nervous
be
a
the
little bit.
Martin. It's okay.
How are all y'all doing today?
We are
Great.
blessed and blessed to be here with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, we going through tough times right now, COVID. What are y'all doing, to keep busy right now? Because, people can't tour and nothing right now. So what are y'all doing to keep busy?
I know you're right. It's like everything has changed, but it puts you in a reality to be still and figure. You get to figure things out that you had been probably not paying attention to, and you get to really pay attention and be still and really get to see what's going on in your life and even see what's going on in others. Even more pay more
Right.
attention and be having that magnifying glass on certain things because you get to really see it because of being still during this
That's
COVID.
right. That's
Right.
right. It's the spiritual reset. It gives us an opportunity to, like Stephanie said, to sit still and reflect and really get refocused on things that you lost sight on.
Right. Absolutely. And then collectively, we've been working on our book, uh, putting all the finishing touches together for unfinished business and trying to get it out there so that people can have some good reading while they have to be in the house if they're not
Right.
reading or doing some other things.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I look forward to the book. It's like an autobiography.
Yes.
Right. It's an autobiography. It's like our reality book.
Okay.
Like instead of a reality show, it's like our group therapy. We're really reflecting on how we were as a group and healing those things that we may have misunderstood about each other, and also taking our fans and readers on a journey on what it's like being in a girl group, a group that put themselves together and couldn't be torn apart from outsiders, just those ins and outs that people don't really care to talk about, the secret sauce of making their group or even tearing it apart.
Yeah, and like most said, what's unique about unfinished business is the fact that we were all in the group and we're the original members. So
Yeah,
the original members is speaking on what we've been through, the good, bad, and ugly, but also funny, very comedic also in certain ways too. I mean, it can make it's emotional roller coaster because we can have you crying, we can have you laughing and touching. And I think one of the other things that's really different also, you get three perspectives,
Okay.
of
yes.
because usually when people write or share their story, share their life, it's usually coming from one perspective. You don't usually get a whole group to write a book together and really talk
Right.
about those hard things that even for us. I mean, you usually hear people talk behind their back about it. We keep it at
That's
100
true.
with each other, being unfiltered, by talking about what we felt at a time when things that happened in a group with all our different perspectives. And you'd be like, oh, she felt that way. She felt, and we keeping it real. We being very, authentic about it. So I think that's really a unique thing about the book. And pictures. Excuse me, we have pictures that come from, I mean, so for those of the youngins who don't, know, and they might know, but I don't want to put them out like they so young, but 35 millimeter cameras before we, was having those, had all this great high technology stuff now, but we had 35 millimeter disposable cameras, when we took, and even great 35 millimeter regular cameras that's your own personal too, but we took pictures from our own personal. So our personal archives of pictures that talks about, you ever been in a situation, Marlon, where you saw pictures of people and you're like, I wonder what they was doing.
Yes.
Like I wonder what they was doing. Like it's pictures like of a group, but you somewhere, like for us, it's like different parts around the world where we was on tour or just different things in the studio, whatever, with different artists, with
Of
different things,
working right.
or our journey that we could have been on with these different, not just with Mokenstef, our journey with other artists that we toured with. And so we talk about what was in that picture and what happened and what was going on, in that picture. So it's pretty cool. You get to see that too. We also talk about that as well.
That's dope. And I'm glad y'all decided to write a book because I think we've learned our lesson from Lifetime, how many biopics they've messed up over the years. So we glad that
That
y'all
part.
have y'all hands on everything. Do y'all tell y'all story? Y'all all here. And it's kind of like New Edition. I'm glad they were all here, to
Right.
tell their
Yes.
story. Because
Yes.
it's too many of them. So you gotta have everybody's side. That's why it should have been longer, but I understand.
It's funny that you said that about New Edition. To a fun fact about that is in our book, and I won't go in detail because I would love you guys to read about it.
I will
But
get it.
Right.
we share something in common with New Edition and Belle Biv DeVoe, and it was our manager, Brooke Payne. He was also our
Um,
manager at one time. And we talk about our different journeys with our different managers that we had. So that just to say that little thing about because you mentioned them, which we love them so much. And so it's a story about that journey with Brooke Payne.
and see, I'm a little youngin', so back in the day when I used to watch like New Edition videos, I thought Brooke was like Jamie Foxx or somebody. Cause he looked a little bit like Jamie with the high top, and I'm like, is that Jamie Foxx? And people was like, that's not Jamie Foxx. It's not. I'm like, okay,
He was a cool cat. He certainly he does seem like he kind of belonged in a group too, but that was just his
yeah.
own flavor that he had, distinctive look. And Brooke Payne played no game. Shout out to Brooke Payne.
Shout out to him. And by you being young, I can see you getting that feel because he had that swag because he was a
Yeah.
choreographer, a dope choreographer,
Exactly.
so he had that choreography swag.
Yeah. And I heard through the grapevine that y'all started off as dancers. This is true.
It
And
is
you heard
very
right.
true.
See?
That is how that is our foot in the
Our
door
first love.
as entertainers. That's our taste of fame. Go ahead, Kenya.
No, I was just saying that's our first love, and that's actually what brought us together. As individuals, we were dancers on our own prior to meeting each other. And once we met, Stephanie and I met in high school, we were already individual dancers. And then we just collectively formed a group together, and we were looking for another dancer. And Mo was doing her own dancing in Hollywood High. So we were already saturated in hip hop as dancers, and that just brought us together.
Y'all was out here
And
dance
shout out to
battling with each
Morningside
other.
Yeah, thank
Right.
you, Mo. Thank you, Mo. I heard that Inglewood in the house,
Yeah,
Morningside
shout
High
out to
School.
Well,
Morningside.
Stephanie and Kenya went to Morningside High, and Monifa went to Hollywood High.
The
Yeah,
Hollywood high. She Hollywood over here, people.
Already, I was already there.
already there.
Be Hollywood because she was there, right? Exactly.
She's
I know.
Hollywood.
So glad that she that Mo joined, us with our whole dance and our whole concept of what we had going on when
Yeah,
before we had, met Mo, we were looking for it, a dancer to complete because we were incomplete.
Yes, and
We
the
were doing our
story.
thing, but we needed that one person, that extra person for that trio vibe we was looking for because we was dancing, for the upcoming artists, that was trying to get in the game. And back then they had showcases, that you performed at, like in
Yes.
Hollywood. And so you'll have people, judges, out there. And a lot of people ran across those places, Jamie Foxx, that you mentioned, Mariah Carey, all of us used to be going to those showcases and performing, before you get your deal, you trying to get discovered.
right,
But we were dancing behind people at that time. We was dancing behind the upcoming
right.
hip
We
hop
were the
artists.
we were the background dancers,
The
and
back.
Yeah.
you really wasn't hot. Back then when hip hop started flourishing in terms of performance and music videos, you really, if you wanted to be hot, you had to have dancers. So we were in essence in high demand, as dancers in Los Angeles. So we were pretty high. We were dope, and
Yeah.
we any showcase that we participated in, any shows that we participated in, we were like the highlight. We almost
Right.
upstaged the talent,
Yeah,
that
we
was
did
performing.
sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ken, you're right.
We
We
did
did.
sometimes, and that's what led us to, be pushed in the forefront as a group, as an
Yeah,
R&B and hip hop group. The dancing, we stood out so much, just off our talents and our collaboration and our choreography and our energy. We did sometimes outshine the artists that we were dancing for and was thrust into the forefront. And then we used our own individual talents as writers all three of us, and Mo sang, and Stephanie we rap, and we just fused, just put a group together. You know, people start seeing us in the light where we could be up front, and we took that challenge on
And
and
how
started
that
making music.
transition, yes, Kenya, and that transition of, how do we do this without support?
Right.
We don't have producers. We didn't have access to musical producers. We didn't have access to a studio. I mean, we were so serious that we, just like rappers do mixtapes, we use instrumentals,
Mm-hmm.
and we would use those instrumentals and we would write to them. And that's how we came up with He's Mine, with using H-Town's Knocking the Boots. We
Yes.
used their instrumental to, we used various instrumentals, but that was the one that we came up with He's Mine with. And it had nothing to do obviously with their concept or what they were talking about. We were just kind of singing the blues of what it's like, to be in a relationship and it to be, penetrated or torn or something new that somebody could not handle, let something go. So yeah, He's Mine, a little juice, super sacco and gin, gin and juice. That's what we was on at that time.
Our
And
potion, our mix.
Yo, in the
But it's
vocal, y'all
it's
have
so
very,
funny how
like,
we say,
y'all had like very, very sassy vocals. It's like y'all was like y'all was telling it like it was. Like y'all was in the studio doing the neck rolls. Like you better you mind like
Exactly.
very much so.
you
You
can
hit it on the
hear
head.
it.
We were sassy. We are sassy, actually. But yes, we were very sassy, very young, very opinionated, no filters, you know. We were liberated little young females telling it like it is. Absolutely sassy.
So how did y'all because of course y'all are a trio, everybody knows this. So there is other trios, that you had to compete with, like Cut Close, Jade, Brownstone. How did y'all stand out from the groups like that?
Those
I
are
think
some
for us,
very good groups you just mentioned, because we actually, excuse me, Kenya, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
That was Steph.
we actually were in the same circles of one another. And those groups that you mentioned were very humble, cool ladies. So shout out to them. Go ahead,
Yes.
Kenya.
No, that was Stephanie,
that was
but
me.
Oh, I'm
that
I
was
was,
sorry.
Steph.
it's all good.
But
I was,
I don't know. For me, I didn't feel like it was. We just did us.
Yes.
We just stuck to our roots and who we were as a female group. We respected a lot of the female groups out there, and we received that same love. So,
I'll say something about that. We never got
yeah,
into cattiness and a catty
yeah,
vibe, for us.
right,
Like, I think what make us different to also answer is the fact that it's two raptures in our group, and we're songwriters. So I think the rap aspect, and Mo's a singer, and we done background singing, we sung as well, but we also was raptures and songwriters. So having two female rappers in the group. So when people have the
That's
whole album,
rare.
that makes us different.
Yes.
That's one of the
right.
things that do make us different. And we also went to college and graduated and have degrees while we were going to school, bachelors, we have bachelor's degrees. So that makes us different because we hold that, you know, as far as Mokenstef. So I think that's one of those things that can separate us, the rap side of it, as far as, because two people rap, two of
Yes.
us, and a singer, and like I said, college, so I think that would be, other than that, we all sisters when we try to write, when we're doing our thing out there, we all going through the same grind and struggle as far as, what compares us, is that we all are trying to be in this game and just be heard and let people feel us.
You know what's so
Absolutely.
funny? I want to add, Marlon, I want to add to what Stephanie says, because it's really
Right.
powerful to know that we really had full autonomy and control over our image, over what we wanted to talk about. That was the record company that we, allowed us that, Outburst Records. Shout out to Outburst Records.
And Def Jam.
They gave us, and Def Jam, yes, they really gave us full autonomy to create that album. That album, as is us. We were true to ourselves on who we were in that moment, you know.
But if people thought we looked a hot mess, we looked a hot mess because we chose to look a hot mess.
You can see the
Y'all did not look a hot mess. Y'all were
So
beautiful. Okay?
I was just saying, like, in some moments, it's just real. Sometimes we look good. Sometimes
we
you know,
say
we
that in the
don't.
book. Yeah, we share that in the book too. Of a few photo shoots that we were in control of. You will see what our choices weren't the best, but we dealt with what we had. With the budget, which was almost little to none in some cases. So we were making it work. We were determined, Marlon.
Y'all were. I watched a couple of y'all's live performances, and y'all put definitely 150% into your performances. But like it was funny because you say y'all looked a hot mess, y'all didn't, but you could tell y'all were young.
Sometimes I wouldn't
You could
say
tell y'all
all
were
the
young.
time. Yeah, I wouldn't say all the time because there was moments that and we do talk about in the book, and that's where it gets a little, because we're being honest. It's like no one's telling us what to say. It's very unfiltered, the unfinished business, and we talk about with the labels, how the labels try to make us be something that we're not, and those kind of things, and we're not that. So we was type of women that spoke up about that, and you know how that could come across when women speak up, Black women.
Yeah.
Young girls and we're young ladies, but we had integrity. And there were certain things that they wanted us to wear. And we like, no, we're not doing it. We're not selling sex like that. And we talk about certain things, in the book, about that.
And it's funny because y'all's lyrical choice, of words. Like I asked, I did a poll on what questions, people wanted me to ask you, and somebody was like, "Why were you okay with that raggedy ass man cheating?"
Oh, that's
You
good. I
know,
like
We're
that
okay
question.
with it.
we love the comments. We love when people do ask questions. But
Yes.
you have to understand, nowhere in that song do we say it's okay. Now we may say you might have had them once. That's just a way of acknowledging if this is true. What a gal is, because see, it's not that we know. It's so many perspectives on writing that song too. You
Yes.
know, you have me coming from a perspective of someone, the side chick has called me to let me know she's sleeping with my man. And then Kenya,
You
she
have
has her perspective.
you have the perspective of a girl was with a guy that I am with now. You used to have him. You may have had him once, but now I got him all the
You
time.
got it. Okay.
Their relationship is over with. And she may still want him, but now he's with me. So, you can back off now. So that's
And then
another perspective.
And then
Stephanie, your perspective.
yeah, my perspective was like, yes, I'm not gonna say like current, like, in your life that people don't go through cheating scenarios in their life. But back that time when we wrote He's Mine, what I was saying was that I took Kenya and Mo's experiences and other people that I do know as well and saw, oh, okay, I'm about to clown. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear the lyrics, it's very sassy. It's very, we really, so you hear another person clowning, talking about took you to a room, you played you like a trick because you let them hit. It's like me, I'm saying those things, my contribution, I'm clowning you, these females who really should have a Gora code, which Mo mentioned before. It should be a code. You shouldn't be messing with nobody. It ain't a pass for the men at all, in no way. And like Mo said, we never said the man, it's all good. Like, yes, you cool, keep cheating, dude. It's all good. Woo, keep cheating. No, that's not what we're saying, boo-boo. But we understand the perspectives of how people feel about that, because a lot of people think it's the side chick anthem, and we take it how your opinion, how it goes. But when you get to talk to us and get to feel, I was clowning in my lyrics when I was speaking about like, girl, you are, you know what I'm saying? You messing with another person's dude, and you already know he taking. Come on now. And to this day, that's why it's so hot. That's why it's still fire. He's fine. Because it still goes on, and people write their interpretations of the new artists that come out about that, because it's still hot and people still, feel that. And it, but just to let my people know, whoever just said about the raggedy man, we didn't give them a pass. We really didn't.
Because people, when people listen to certain songs, they have their interpretation of it, and then from what it really means.
Totally get it.
Absolutely. Because there are other perspectives out there. There are some girls out there that know that their man is cheating and still be with them. That perspective is out there somewhere. So it hits people in so many different ways. It evokes so much emotion in people.
Yeah, it brought a lot of emotions. We were performing live. we would perform live, and we've seen, I mean, Detroit get live. In Detroit, we were performing, and some girls was actually fighting while we were performing, you know.
Yes.
But we maintained and kept it going. We kept performing, and security got it together, whatever. But it brings up a lot of emotions, and you can't do a full song, you know what I mean, and like do a whole and break it all down. But that's why you can do the best you can by giving some different scenarios, so that people feel that the man is still, because they're like, oh, that man is still out there dipping in and doing it with different people. Yeah.
See,
But
Detroit is ratchet. They fight in R&B concerts. That's what they doing.
Stop it. Shout out to
Detroit is ratchet. I'll say it. I'm from Cleveland originally, so I get to talk about them. They are cousins. They need more lotion than us.
Yeah,
they
related.
need lotion too.
We all got those in our family, Marlon. Stop it. But
and we got it in our cities too. Look.
Yes.
And I talk about that in the book, because I have a balance of my life, and I talk about the different things. Shout out to the ratchet.
I want to say, Kenya had said something in a previous interview, which is, we do not judge any woman on how she chooses to say handle her relationship. If her dude were to cheat, if she were to take him back, that is her prerogative. So we in the song, we don't hold any judges for those who do take. We celebrate those women who actually are able to take their men back, and hopefully, their behavior has changed. But so shout out to those women who were successful with taking their men back, and they making it.
And it's not happening again. It's not on repeat mode.
Not on repeat.
Not on repeat mode.
It shouldn't.
Hey, exactly, because Stephanie and Kenya look like they're gonna throw them hands.
How you know?
Because you got your arms out. Like, usually people that can fight got their arms out, so I know the blows is coming. so as is, of course, that's y'all album. Why only one album?
You know what? We actually have a second album. It's just it wasn't as well known as, and we didn't have a whole lot of support. We were independent putting out our second album.
Okay.
Is why you don't know about our second album.
Oh yeah, and we talk about, so we have we have a big old list of song, a catalog. Let me put it like that, a catalog of music we have that has and we actually did have like albums on mixtapes and stuff like that came out called He Say She Say. So we had our album, which came out with Def Jam and Outburst, and then we also had several record deals, and we shared that in Unfinished Business. So we've worked with a lot of people, from Chucky Thompson up in Washington D.C. We've worked with different cats that you're gonna find out in the book about the different things, what happened in that progress, in that process of doing it. But we had the opportunity to write and record a lot of songs, and that we can't wait for y'all to hear. Some of them we are gonna, we flipped it and fixed it, we upgraded it and stuff that you'll be able to hear around the book,
Awesome. So is there there's an upcoming release in the near future? I hope.
Yes.
Is there a date?
So no date yet. We have a lot of material, boy, to bless y'all with. I tell you that. We have a lot of material that we have written, So we wasn't sleeping when we was writing, we was on this, one album situation. But people who kind of like followed and they kind of knew the other, like the mixtapes that we had did, they had saw like what we had done, other stuff outside of and then stuff on our own individual journey of music, like myself, like what I had done with other, like I said, being the Raptures in the group, I worked with, E40 and Snoop on a project of another, like a collaboration with another artist, so, was out there doing my thing, getting my feet wet in the rap game with the OGs.
Y'all pretty much y'all pretty much like answered my questions for me. We good. So I'm gonna hit y'all with a curveball. Okay, so I asked a couple artists this, and a lot of them had funny responses. Y'all have done y'all performed live 100 times. Like, what is the best and worst thing that's happened to you on stage?
For me, as a singer, you know, when you're on a road and you're pumping and pumping and pushing that album, you know, like you say, you're performing hundreds of times and you're in different time zones. And so your body, you know, it gets worn out and so does your voice. So as singing that, I believe it was He's Mine. And you know that last part, but he coming home. Well, I didn't hit that note. So that was embarrassing. And that was embarrassing for me. However, I did get the support. If Kenya and Stephanie remembers, they were in the crowd saying, "That's okay, that's all right," you know, to really cheer me on. So I don't remember where we were at that time, but that was one of my embarrassing
Oh, y'all are sweet for
I
that.
remember
The
one
homegirls
time.
backing you up. That's what I'm talking about.
Always, always. One time, I forgot where we were too, so sadly, but the music cut off. Something happened. I think it rained.
I was in, you know what? I remember that was in Philly.
And it was a huge
It
crowd.
was
I
in
mean,
Philly. It was one of those
so
festivals in
huge.
Philly.
It was outdoors. It was
And this
outdoors.
had never, it was outdoors, and it had never happened to us.
That's gonna
But-
test if you a Milli Vanilli.
We definitely kept the show going. We kept the show going without a beat. It was just internal for me. It was like an internal shock. Like, oh, what do we do? Keep going. You know, it was just like we just continued on, but it was just like for a split second, it was like, oh God, this is the worst moment. We're about to get booed off the stage. But the artist in us wouldn't allow that to happen. We just continued on going.
Held it together.
That's right.
That was one. That is one. That's a good one, King. Because I feel you on that one.
I'll never forget that one.
Yeah, that's an embarrassing moment. I think the other one probably. I think for me, because like you travel so much, and and a lot of artists probably can relate to this, unfortunately. But this is one of the ones for me where you go on town for town, traveling all over, and you go to a city and say the wrong city.
Oh.
You almost say the wrong city. Like
you
driving so much and we are very energetic as far as like, because we don't just sing and rap, we dance, you know what I mean? Because we start off as dancers, so we have that dancing ability, you know what I mean? So we are grooving on stage, we high, we pump, and so pumped up, you know what I mean? And I was pumped up and said the whole, and I'm like, oh, I was like, did I catch? I was like, oh, you know, you just gotta go with the flow. You made a mistake, you know, you got to keep it real and just keep going. But I'm like a comedian myself, so I kind of like flipped it and, you know, said the city, but like was pumping it up, like kind of like, you know, kind of dissing, you know, that town, saying y'all better than that, you know, seeing if y'all up, seeing if y'all awake, you know what I mean?
She recovered, yes.
Try to recover.
Yes.
It's one city that's real bad about that, and that's Kansas City. Because I had to do a show in Kansas City. You know, Kansas City sits right on the border of Kansas and Missouri, so they share the city. So we was in Kansas City, Kansas, and they take it like they hate each other. I don't know why. I'm like, y'all know y'all in the same city technically. So I was like, what's up, Kansas City, Missouri? Kansas was like, the fuck? Boo! I'm like,
oh man.
They booed Tyrese because he did it. They booed him for about 4 minutes till he started singing.
Oh wow.
They do not play out there. So
I was lucky that we didn't get booed. I think I recovered quick enough because we could have got booed. You know what I mean? Because that's real talk. But I would have accepted and handled like a G because I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Because I'm one of the ones who be mad somebody come to my city. I pay my coins. You come up to Inglewood like that, and we coming to see you. I would not be that happy that you don't know where you're at. So I respect it.
Okay, y'all West Coast to y'all die. Like I love Cali. I love coming out there. Like I know y'all get a lot of local support, you know, from Cali. Cali is that city. I usually come out there and do the improv. So I come out there, hit the comedy spots. And
what year did you come out?
I've come there every year since 2017. We do me and Brandon T. Jackson. If you're familiar with him, I tour with him. So we do the Brea one, then we go to Ontario, then we go to Hollywood Improv. So we do everything.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm looking at you, Marlon. I'm like, okay, I see the familiarity. You know, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hey, you, Marlon, Brandon, okay. It's like, because I love going to comedy shows. Like, we hit all of them. You probably been to Brea too.
Yes, I did Brea. Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
So my first time coming to Cali, I was so nervous because I'd never been there. So, you know, on the East, all people, you know, all we watch is Boys in the Hood and, you know, stuff like that. So we're like, I'm like, what do I need to wear? I'm like, do I need to not wear, you know, this? So
red or blue,
I went.
Right.
They had me staying in Compton, so
Oh,
I went to
Still
oh,
Compton.
did it.
it's blue and red. You cross the wrong border, you might be in the
What
wrong side.
side?
So what color you gotta wear?
Yeah, I had on all red. So I got out the car. 5 seconds of me getting out the car, I heard somebody say, "Nice colors, cuz." I'm like,
Oh, you was on the wrong side.
and they, like
Better keep it neutral.
he knew.
Yeah,
I think he knew I wasn't from there because I was taking pictures being a tourist and everything. So he's like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Ohio." He's like, "Oh, I like Bone Thugs. Let me take the picture for you." I'm like, "Bro, you just about to kill me." So now, my friend, okay, cool, I'll take it. Thank you so much, sir. But y'all show love. I definitely appreciate y'all for hopping on the podcast for me. I'm a fan. I listened to the whole album earlier and all that sass. I started being
yeah.
sassy after listening to the album,
you.
so I had to go get myself together.
Thank you for having us too.
Thank you. So can you please individually, if y'all have your own social media, can you tell the people where to follow you and everything?
Well, Mo, you want to start?
Yeah,
Mokenstef?
no, go ahead, Ken, take it
Oh,
over.
You can do the
okay,
Instagram.
well, this is Kim from Mokenstef. Individually, you can follow me at Fly Girl Fitness to find out about your personal training, fitness, daily motivations. As a group, you can follow us at The Real Mokenstef and look out for our upcoming book, entitled Unfinished Business.
Yeah, and what Ken said at the Real Mokenstef is the same for Facebook and for Instagram. Well, the Real Mokenstef for Facebook and at the Real Mokenstef is for Instagram. And Stephanie is on Instagram is at Stephanie Miss Steph. And so you can check me out on there on Instagram and also it on Facebook. It's for those though, because people be leaving out our Facebook. Why? Why do people leave out Facebook? Everybody love Instagram so much. Look, I love it too, though. It's great. But Facebook, Stephanie Miss Steph. So it's StephanieMrsStef. Stephanie Miss Steph. You might want to put Fly Girl and spell that for him because it's not spelled like an average Fly Girl.
Spell that
You're
for us.
right, Stephanie. It's at Fly Girl Fitness. It's FLY because you got to stay fly, and girl is the GURL because it's all about you and benefiting and better yourself. So at Fly Girl Fitness. Thank you, Stephanie. That's girl with a U.
Hey, there you go.
Hey,
All right,
Mo.
Monique, hit us with your social media, Monique. You're on mute.
Oh, Mo is with the.
You don't have to
You
have
can
my
get,
real. I'm on the what you say. You got to be able to reach me on my actual personal line. So I'm not ready to put
Oh,
out
it's
my
old school.
you got to reach Mo with at the Real
So you
Mokenstef
can
on
follow me
Instagram.
at the Real Mokenstef. That's
Right.
that's how you can reach me.
Oh, we do got a
You
little.
can DM me Instagram on
Oh
Instagram.
yeah, oh yeah. But
Uh,
you also can you tell them the Twitter one.
the Twitter.
It's at the Real Mokenstef.
Okay.
We try to keep it simple for everybody. At the Real Mokenstef. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't even know
She
my
said
own
Facebook
Facebook name. The group, I don't know. But hey, Instagram, you be safe with Instagram.
Okay,
You
so
definitely are. I love my Facebook though. I got a lot of followers on Facebook.
pretty much Stephanie and Kenya are in 2020 and Monifa is still in the 90s.
She in the 90s.
Let me find out you
Never
got a
left.
rotary
That is so
phone.
funny about that. That do take you some time.
Exactly.
You got a rotary
That's
phone,
right.
the phone you
Clown. Yep.
Come on, Monifa.
Y'all
Come
at
on.
zero?
Come on. Y'all make her a social
Oh,
media page.
Hey, Marlon, Mo at the phone booth. Remember the phone booth outside?
She like, you got a quarter? I ain't got a quarter. I need to call somebody real quick.
You need some coins. You need some coins. You need to roll the quarters.
That is
Right.
hilarious.
You got the long distance card. You got the long distance card. You can use that too.
The only person still calling collect. Goddamn, Mo. Come on now.
Still calling collect.
Yo, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for doing this with me. I'm gonna chop it up. I'm gonna make y'all look excellent. Y'all already look amazing. So I'm gonna give y'all a date and I'm gonna release this bad boy and
Awesome.
let the fans holler at y'all.
we need your information too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am Marlon Comedy on everything. Marlan Comedy, not ONAN. I'm on all social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Christian Mingle. So make sure
Christian
y'all.
Mingle.
So make sure
Awesome.
I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna follow all of y'all. I definitely got y'all. I got you.
Yes,
Same
we
here.
got you too. When you do,
I
and
have to look for you.
you talk to Monica, she'll connect that whole thing also, so we can promote it also. When
Got
you
you.
do it.
Yeah.
Got you. I'm gonna send her the flyer, and I'm gonna individually send y'all flyer, and we got you. I'm gonna take care of y'all. I got you.
Awesome.
Good looking out. We appreciate it though.
Thank
So when
you,
you come back
Marlene.
out here, when after this COVID is over with,
I
right?
got you.
And you get that
Yeah.
opportunity to come, we definitely gonna come support you.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and
Thank
we'll
you
let
so
you know
much.
when we come, because we supposed to be coming your way. Actually,
When?
if everything goes, because we're in contractually right now. We're contractually negotiating with ATL out that way, so we'll let you know so you can come down.
Awesome. Okay, I'll be there.
yes.
I'll be front row messing up y'all song with y'all. So
That's right. That's
I'll be in there. They were like, you should know the words of this song. Mind your business. So thank you. Okay. I'm gonna close this out. So thank y'all
Okay,
for
Marlene.
tuning in to the Love to Laugh
Thank
podcast.
you.
I've been joined by Mokenstef, that is Miss Stephanie, Miss Kenya, and Miss Monifa. I thank y'all so much
Yes.
for coming out, and
Thank you.
yeah, we will be releasing this. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Much
All right. Thank
love,
you. Be
y'all.
blessed.
Uh,
Thank you.